say.
nuns too.
She was. Our mother grew up with a great fear of nuns. And,
rightly so. They were dangerous.
and she told me to open my mouth and show her. And I opened my mouth. And, you know.
Nothing.
And there was, of course, nothing there. I was just nervous. I was just
Then it said, you son of a gun.
chewing my cheek. But I just, that really, that overwhelmed me even more. Because the nun had it over Mother, too, you know.
There was no
But Mother just stood there and didn't say a word.
Court of Appeals. They are the last ones. They get you.
I hated school.
As it turned out, this was a nice
You
nun.
didn't give him much of a try.
I like school.
I used to cry every time my mother used to take me to school, and I used to cry.
Oh.
Well, what grade did you go to? Fourth grade?
And I said, no more.
No.
I'm not going to school no more.
Dropout. You dropped out of school?
It was, how did you do that though? Because it was compulsory.
I couldn't go back. When I was about 10, well, almost 10 and a half years old, I was still having trouble with my leg. And I went to the hospital. After that, I was in the hospital for about a year and a half. Then when I came out of the hospital, they wanted my mother to sign papers that they wouldn't be responsible if anything happened to me because I was walking on crutches. And my mother wouldn't sign. So I never went back to school. But, see, like today now, they would send you a tutor. They didn't do that then. Or they wouldn't, like today, they would have special buses for the kids, you know. And they didn't have any of that.
Well, how did you learn to read?
Fourth grade,
I before I
Kids today, fourth grade,
No, I
from
knew how to
high
read.
school can't read.
I knew how to read when I was in I think I must have been in the third grade. I used to read a lot. When it comes to reading, I was like you. I was always reading.
You know, I mean, I learned to read when I was 4, before I ever went to school.
Well, I don't think I was 4, but I was pretty young when I learned how to read. Because I like to read.
Mother told me to read. I don't think so, you know.
And then when I couldn't play with the other kids, I used to read. So I read a lot of books. I want to know all about football and college, because I used to read all Frank Merriwell. They were all about...
Wow, they still play with leather helmets in those books.
Yeah, I know.
I think the game has changed.
You read all those kid books, you know.
Well, that's it now. Nowadays, kids, they watch TV. You don't have to learn how to read. You don't learn anything by watching TV.
Well, some things they learn a little more, but some things they don't learn as well.
You don't learn too much from watching the A-Team.
You were the one who likes the A-Team.
I already know how to read.
I won't let him watch it though. 'Cause I think it's stupid.
Yeah, there was a thing in it. It's in Reader's Digest. This woman was I forget what kind of job she had. And she used to thank her when she got a little fine. Until one person that used to help her went away or something and she couldn't read. So she was she compelled herself to go to school and learn how to read. But I don't know how many years she had a job that with somebody helping her, she got through it. Well, when Jerry first started school, he wasn't, he found it very hard learning how to read. But then like he had special classes and he was all right.
Well, yeah, some children do have a problem, and
Yeah.
Roger had a little problem learning to read. They finally realized he was trying, instead of reading from left to right, he was reading up and down, which doesn't work.
Probably Chinese.
Doesn't work. And then they finally taught him how to read correctly, and he finally picked it up, and then he had He had the measles. He had a very bad case of the measles, and he had very high fevers, and it wiped out all his learning. And he forgot how to read, and he forgot everything he had learned in first grade. And it was getting toward the end of first grade, and then they were going to keep him back to retake the whole year. And then Mother tutored him and brought him up so he could go into the second grade with the rest of his class. But for a long time they didn't think that they were going to let him. But
And one day they're going to put him in third grade.
But poor thing. I mean, here he had this, this little learning problem, and he fixed it, and then he got the measles, and he wiped everything out, and he had to do it all over again.
Well, I saw this movie on television a couple of weeks ago, I think, about this girl that had, she used to see the words backwards.
Dyslexia.
Dyslexia,
yeah. He wasn't dyslexic.
No, but that's what she had.
But dyslexia is a real problem because dyslexia can't be cured. It's a problem in the brain.
But she became a doctor.
Try to overcome it, yeah.
She became a doctor. That was a good story, though. It's a true story.
Oh, I didn't see the movie, but I remember when I read it in the TV guide. I read an article about her several years ago.
Yeah.
She wasn't just
people died because she treats them backwards.
No, she wasn't just dyslexic. I mean, she had a lot of problems. She wasn't just dyslexic, and then she became, even when she was a teenager, she was, did she go to reform school?
Oh, God.
Yeah, she was a real troublemaker.
She had one baby, and then she had another one.
And she was written off, and then she sort of straightened herself out, and she ended up going to medical school.
It took her 10 years to,
yeah, I don't think she went to medical school though until she was like 30 or something,
if
I remember the article.
She was married already. When she had to have 2 kids and she was married, and she married this wonderful man that encouraged her. And at the end of the movie, it showed her, she wasn't in the picture, of course, but it showed her, and she's talking about this dyslexia. It was really a good story.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that one and I enjoyed it, and I saw the Amos, and I enjoyed it.
Amos?
I didn't want to go to a nursing home.
I never heard of that one.
What is it about? What bad things that can happen?
Oh my God.
Some nursing home?
This man, he was going for a ride with his wife, and he was in a terrible accident. She died, and he got hurt. He wasn't able to walk. So they had to put him in this nursing home. So he's in bed one night, and he's got this man sitting next to him, and laying next to him. He had become very good friends of his. And I don't know what happened to him. If he fell and broke his arm, this man. And during the night, the head nurse came in to give him a shot. Next morning, he was dead. So he saw that, but he couldn't let the nurse see him. And then he was watching. Every time somebody got hurt, that's what they would die. So the end of the story was that in order to get this nurse, this supervisor, he had an insurance policy for $30,000, and she convinced him to sign it over because she had X-rays, she had X-rays his chest. She had said he had cancer, and he didn't have very long to live. So naturally, he believed her. So he signed the insurance policy over to her. But after he signed the insurance policy over to her, one night he went in the medicine cabinet where they kept the drugs, and he took a nice dose of whatever would kill him, And he wrote a letter to the commissioner or somebody that what she had been doing, because they never believed him. They wouldn't believe him. So he wrote a letter and he said, she forced me to sign the insurance policy over to her. And I don't want her to have it. I want such and such, my nephew and my, he met a lady there, and they were very good friends. He wanted to give it to them, and he gave himself a shot, and he was dead. And meanwhile, he had given this letter to one of the people, they weren't allowed to get any mail out, send any mail out, unless it went through her, the supervisor. So I said, now don't tell her, because her birthday's coming, and I'm going to have a big party for her. And oh, this lady was so happy. So, oh, she's so good, it'll be nice, she'll be so surprised. So she took the letter out and she mailed it. And that's how come the letter went to the proper people. And then that was the end of the story. He was dead, and they arrested her. And then it charged all these old people. Like some people wanted to have a little garden, and they let them have it. She wouldn't let them do anything. So it showed a happy place then.
Yeah.
But you know what? There's a nursing home over here where they said a lot of people died, and the supervisor had something to do with it. Of course, we never know, but you know, if you have an old person, like they never go, some people, they never go to visit them. So I like to go to a nursing home. My aunt was in a nursing home, but her daughter used to go there every day to wash her hair. She couldn't feed herself, she used to feed her. And she took it in. Marie took good care of her. Her husband, I don't know if he's dead now, but he's been in a nursing home, and I'm sure she went to see him, and she took care of him. But if you, I don't care where you go, like where Maddie is in the hospital, in the school, there's a lot of kids there that their parents put them in there and just forget about them. And that's how they're treated. Now you go to see my niece, whenever you go there, she looks like a doll. She's all cleaned up, all dressed, her hair washed. Her mother goes there. Sometimes there's a group of them that they go there unexpectedly. And they go and check up on this place to see that these people are taken care of. But if nobody would do that, first of all, they haven't got enough people to take care of all of them. So they just push, these kids get pushed back. And really. It's one thing I have to say, my sister and her husband, they put their daughter in school when she was 11 years old. I don't believe they have missed one weekend in those years, all those years. Now I'm going back, how old is she? She's older than you.
36. She's what?
She's about 39 now. She was 2 years old when I got married, yeah. I don't think they missed one time. And they take her home like once a month for a weekend, or like maybe this holiday, maybe she was home, and they bring her back. And they make sure that she's taken care of. But you'd be surprised how many people anyway that are in these schools that don't belong there.
Yeah.
It's like Andy now. If they didn't have him, he was in Northport in the mental hospital. He doesn't belong in a mental hospital. But his sisters couldn't take care of him. But before they gave him the lobotomy, he was very bad.
He was violent?
Yeah, he was very violent. And then his sister was telling me, then they went back to see him one time and he was gone. And they wouldn't tell her where they sent him. Mary and Paul had taken him. And you know what? I wouldn't give my dog to Mary and Paul to take care of. He was by Butch for about 3 weeks. He loved it there. Well, Marilyn is a different kind of person.
She is. She's a very good-natured person.
She's too good-natured if you come to it. But that's her
Well, she can't be
problem.
too good-natured.
Yeah.
You think too easy
She
going?
is. She's too easy going. They crap all over her. All of them. From Butchie